Now, one day after the governor announced deep cuts over the next 2 months to balance the state's budget, we're looking further at the impact as well that it might have on you.
Schools took the brunt of this first wave, but there will be more. News 5's John Kosick joins us. And John, this is not just the state that will need to cut.
No, these cuts are to state schools, from the state to the schools, are just the beginning. It's 1% to 2% of their operating expenses, but it's just the start. The overall slowdown in the economy is having a trickle-down effect on the local communities that we're only going to continue to see grow unless we're able to turn things around. The state might have a $69.8 billion biennial budget, but the reality is they are just the middleman for most of the money. More than 85% of it goes out in checks to schools, higher education, Medicaid, and local government.
So most of the budget does not get spent on state agencies.
It's different at the local level. They spend what they take in, and those governments are also facing a similar shortfall in income and other tax revenue. The one bright spot has been aid in the early phases of the CARES Act that has come to Ohio. $3.74 billion to the state as a whole, $215 million to Cuyahoga County. But
that money is very, very limited in how it can be used.
If you have a direct COVID-19 expense, you can use the money to cover it.
But you can't use it for an indirect expense, which is a result of reduced revenue, which is a result of the reduced economy, which is the result of the coronavirus.
That's something Ohio Senators Rob Portman and Sherrod Brown are asking Treasury Secretary Steve Mnuchin to change, because one of the big expenses at the local level is public safety.
I'm talking, directly to some of the police departments and EMS personnel, mostly firefighters, about this, because when they're looking at cuts of 20 to 30%, they've actually got to cut public safety. And that's the last thing you want to do right now during this crisis.
We continue to push Mnuchin to fix this. If he doesn't, it will be in the next Recovery Act, and we will make it retroactive so the money that's already out there can be spent the way cities and counties want to.
Now, Senator Brown told me he spoke with Governor DeWine this morning, and he understands why he made the cuts that he has made. He only wishes that he had dipped into the state's rainy day fund now instead of saving it for later.
And John, while the state can cut the money that it sends to local governments, it really means that they're cutting people, right?
And that's the argument that Senators Brown and Portman are making. They're saying that basically, if you don't help local governments now, you're opening the door for all kinds of municipal layoffs further down the road, which then only adds to the drain on diminishing state resources when it comes to unemployment insurance.